All right, let's unbox the newly updated Christopher Ward C60 Trident 300 GMT. Let's do it. All right, so I just got in a package from Christopher Ward, shipped all the way from, I think this comes from Maidenhead over in United Kingdom. Last summer, I actually took a trip over to London, visited Windsor Castle and all that. And I actually tried to stop by Christopher Ward to actually check this out in person, but unfortunately, they wouldn't even let me in. They only made it by appointment only, and they were full. So this is going to be an unbiased review. I paid my own money for this. I've received no special treatment from Christopher Ward. Christopher Ward's been a brand that I've kind of had my eye on for a while. They're about a 20-year-old brand, and they started off just as being a direct-to-consumer online luxury seller. So they kind of had, I think, a little bit of a slow start. They're not super mainstream yet. I think they make roughly around 20,000 pieces a year. But in the last few years, they've really been kind of ramping up production and coming out with new models. And I think they've kind of tweaked some of their design language to where I actually am starting to get okay with them, right? So I'm skeptical, but I'm also optimistic on maybe what this brand might be able to do in the future. So today I'm not going to be able to give you like a full-on review just because this will be kind of my first time owning one of these. I've actually never even seen one of these in the metal before, but based on the specs and pictures online, it was something that I thought would be just interesting to try. So let's just go over the unboxing and just kind of my initial impressions of this newly updated timepiece so that you might be able to get a better idea if this watch might be right for your collection. So here's the packaging that it comes in, pretty compact, pretty simple packaging. You know, for a lot of companies, I think that if they aren't delivering really nice, high quality watch boxes, like the kind that you would be proud to display on a bookshelf, I kind of feel like the company should just actually go with more compact and smaller packaging so that you don't have to pay to ship larger packages. And then also you don't have to store them at home. So I'm going to go ahead and switch camera angles so you can kind of see what this box comes with. It's kind of just a nice compact watch box. This one opens up a little bit unique from a standard watch box. Inside you have your usual manuals, warranty card, and Christopher Ward does a 60-month warranty, which is actually pretty respectable. And that is what the C60 Trident 300 GMT. And I ended up opting for their 5-link bracelet on this one. It's actually pretty well wrapped to make sure that your watch doesn't receive any damage or scratches during transport. I ordered this one online. It was in stock when I made the purchase, and it came to me within a week. So just starting off with the weight. So I haven't taken out any of the links yet. Comes to about 137 grams. And then we're going to hit the overall dimensions. Now it advertises as a 40 millimeter case. And now the way I like to measure this is actually just behind the bezel, because a lot of watch manufacturers will make bezels that overhang the case a little bit. And I think that actually, if you use the calibers to the actual bezel, it will read slightly higher than the actual case width. So I kind of try to tuck it to the case right behind the bezel. Another way you can get a true measurement would actually be going from the underside, and so that you're just measuring the case from the back, and you're not hitting the bezel width. So I'm getting just a shade under the advertised 40 millimeters. Lug width on it, it's going to be a 20 millimeter lugs, bracelet tapers on this version to just over about 16 millimeters, which is a great taper. The lug to lug on this with the 5-link bracelet is going to be just over 50 millimeters. And then case thickness, it's nice and under 12 millimeters. So that's actually a really compact watch overall, which I think is perfect for a tool watch. So looking at it, it has a bidirectional, and it feels like a bidirectional 120 click bezel. Now I know some people that say for a GMT watch with the 24-hour GMT scale that the bezel should be a bidirectional 24-click bezel. I actually strongly disagree with that one, and here's why. If the 12 o'clock marker is a triangle, I actually like having a 60 or 120 click bezel because I will actually use this as an impromptu timing bezel far more than trying to utilize my bezel as a third time zone, right? If I ever do travel out of my time zone, I will set the fourth hand to my home time and then setting the normal hour hand to the local time of the destination that you're traveling to. And so then I can keep track of my local time and my home time. I don't ever need to keep track of a third time zone practically, whereas almost on a daily basis, I want to use the bezel to time things. And with this, you can kind of roughly gauge elapsed time, at least down to the minute, by using that bidirectional 120 click bezel. So I actually prefer that. So the bezel itself is kind of a mix of ceramic, and then on the inner part of the bezel, if you can see, it's actually, there's like a fixed steel bezel portion that doesn't move, but the ceramic portion actually does. So you do have kind of this bicolor, light blue for daytime hours, and then dark blue, obviously representing nighttime hours, and a pretty deep blue dial. On the top of the dial, you have the Christopher Ward, their new logo, which is supposed to kind of represent the Swiss and English flags. GMT automatic, and it says 300 meter or 1,000 feet. You have a nice symmetrical date wheel at the 6 o'clock position. And that fourth GMT hand is light blue, which matches the light blue of the bezel. Really good job on the case brushing and finishing. You kind of have brushed on the top of the lugs. We have brushed sides or brushed flanks on the case, and then a polished chamfer, which is one of my favorite combinations. When the sides are brushed, the top is mostly brushed, and then you just have that polished chamfer. I think it offers just some light play, just kind of some visual interest of the timepiece. Bezel alignment actually looks really good. The dial itself is aligned well. I like this handset. I really do like that they have changed. They no longer have the Christopher Ward at the 9 o'clock. I thought that was kind of goofy. However, the new logo looks a little, I don't know, a little Minecraft or Roblox-ish. Wine's really good. I think it's a Salida 330-2 movement, which means it should have about a 56-hour power reserve. This is actually super smooth. And then in that second position, it should give me a jumping hour hand and a quick set date. So you see the date flipping as it should. And if I twist the crown the other way, I should get the jumping fourth GMT hand, as you can see. One way that I kind of like to check quality of a watch is I'll pull the crown out all the way and see if there's much wobble in the stem. And this one is actually rock solid. It's a screw down crown. We have Swiss made down at the 6 o'clock because that Sellita movement is a Swiss movement. So even though Christopher Ward is a British luxury brand, it is a Swiss made watch because the movement is Swiss and it's cased up in Switzerland. So you can see that see-through case back. It should have about 300 meters, 30 atmospheres or 300-meter water resistance. And a cool thing about Christopher Ward's new timepieces is that these bracelets actually have a quick release feature on them. So the links have a nice taper from 20 millimeters down to 16 millimeters. This one is appears to be a true 5-link actually, with screw-in pins. So they actually did a really good job with that. That's going to be very comfortable because this 5-link system is going to offer a lot of articulation on the wrist. So that's going to be actually very, very comfortable. Has a healthy amount of play, not too much, not too loose, but that should wear really well on the wrist. I'm usually not a huge fan of butterfly clasps because they usually lack the micro adjust, but Christopher Ward kind of fixed that with a tension feature that when you pull on it, it actually kind of gives you up to, looks like about a couple meters of kind of quick adjustment. So that's kind of cool. And the backside is signed Christopher Ward with a high quality butterfly clasp. So I haven't sized it yet, but this is roughly how it would look on my, I have a just under a 7-inch wrist. Maybe it's about 6 3/4 inch, but 40 millimeter fits great on me. And this one is nice and flat. So it's really just hugging the wrist. I like their newly designed light catcher case. Those lugs curve down, actually really helping it to hug the wrist. So I think this one's going to actually wear really well. Now, this is just kind of the unboxing and first impressions, but I will say I think Christopher Ward is really making some strides in their production. I think their design is coming a long way, and so I figured I would actually give them a try. So this isn't going to be a full-on review, just kind of that unboxing and those initial first impressions, but I will say good job, Christopher Ward, on an impressive timepiece. Now, if you've made it this far into the video and you've gotten some value out of this, go ahead and click that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And remember, guys, even if you didn't save money by cutting out the middleman on your watch purchase, that's okay, as long as you wear your watches.